Hello, people. I just did a 5 minute introduction or a 2 minute introduction, and I wasn't live yet. So uh, thank you guys for coming on. Elevate 2022, our last edition for 2022. It is December 28th, and now I have to repeat everything I just said, huh? So anyway, I really look forward to this new year, not only from an Elevate perspective, but also the job and family. Got some things lined up next year. Looking forward to some a uh, real vacation. It's probably one of the first ones I'm real excited about, even though we had some that were really good. But just a lot of things in 2023 to be excited about. So I just wanted to welcome you. It is it's December 28th, 2022, our last broadcast of the year. I don't know if we'll do one next week, but we will put it on the calendar and broadcast it out. I want to do our housekeeping. So most of you know me. I'm Curtis Carr. I'm the founder of E.L.E.V.A.T.E. E.L.E.V.A.T.E is a consulting company, leadership program. What we do is we train and coach people on leadership and how to make it happen. We do personal coaching, group coaching. We will do seminars and stuff like that, but I know next year I want to put an added effort in really focusing on the coaching, just because from a time perspective, it works better for me. Uh, but today we're going to be talking about optimism, and when you look at the word elevate, elevate is an acronym: expectations, leadership, ethics, vision, attitude, temperaments, and effectiveness. And thanks, mom and dad. I see you on. Appreciate you. And basically that's the seminar. But Elevate is also the namesake for the company. So I'm the founder of Elevate, and Shar, my wife, is one of the leaders in the company, and she also is a business analyst and a everything's escaping me right now, a project manager. Hey, Mother Brenda, good to see you. She's driving home, so she's not gonna be able to type as much. But today we're talking about maximizing today. That's our thing. We said today is an acronym, and the T stands for traction. And we talked about a couple of weeks ago before we did the interview with Mother Brenda. We talked about what it takes to get traction and how traction is so important if you really want to maximize today. But the O is what we're going to cover today, which is optimism. So we're going to talk about, hey, Tamika, good to see you. Good to see you. The O is what we're going to talk about today. But before we do that, I just want to give a shout out for the new year. And if you're a person, and I know everybody on this call pretty much, but I don't know where you're at mentally. I don't know if you're going through anything, but if you're a person who's struggling, there we go. If you're a person who's struggling with this new year, just know that there is always hope. And I know you guys heard me say this time and time again, but I love the quote that there is it's better to be a live dog than a dead lion. And I love that quote because there's a quote from the Jews, and they were big on lions. They were huge on lions. And they was like, listen, if you're living, I don't care if you're a dog. It's better to be a live dog than to be a dead lion. And so that's how I feel about it. If you're a person that's living, you should have hope. Anything can be fixed, anything can be changed. Um, so I'm very excited about this year. A lot of challenges this year. And I tell you what, I'm going to meet them challenges head on. I mean it with all my heart. I'm going to meet them head on. And I'm going to tell you what, there's going to be a substantial jump between the guy I am today and the guy I am by this time next year. It's going to be a substantial jump. All right. And it's going to be obvious to all. I mean, if it's substantial, it should be pretty obvious, right? So anyway, my wife has her new gift out. She has she got a gift. Didn't you get that gift? There's a gift?
No, it's the other one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'll take that back. I thought she had her new gift out, but she has her computer on this little stand. But anyway, uh, very excited about today. So I just want to give a shout out to the new year. We got some jokes, and I'm excited. I feel like I need to do some stretches to talk about my jokes here. So anyway, uh, why couldn't the fisherman resist buying the boat? Why couldn't the fisherman resist buying the boat? Char? Kind of copying me in a way because I have my computer on the stand and you have your computer on the stand, and I had mine first. Why couldn't the fisherman resist buying the boat? Because it was a good sale. It was a good sale. You get it? All right. She did the eyebrow raise. So I take that as a positive. All right. What do you call it when you see your ex out in public looking bad? What do you call it when you see your ex out in public looking bad?
Funny.
Char said, funny. Alec laughed at the last joke. Oh, I called her Alec. Tamika laughed at the last joke. What do you call it? You call it exciting. Exciting. You get it? Exciting. All right. Yeah, she smiled, a fake smile. All right. Where do bees stay during a holiday vacation? Where do bees? Oh, I don't know. What was that? Where do bees stay during a holiday vacation? Oh, she said nothing exciting about an ex. Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. There'd be a whole nother Facebook Live. We get on the X drama here. Mother Brenda liked it. Where do bees stay during holiday vacations? They stay in an Airbnb. Airbnb. I thought that was pretty good.
That's good.
I would do it. She said that's good. Didn't laugh though, but she said it was good. I'll take it. So definitely wanted to highlight the fact that where's my little sheet here? Wanted to highlight the fact that it is 2023 in a couple days. Hope you guys are safe. Hope you enjoy your time. Tamika liked the B joke. I hope you really enjoyed this new year. I hope that you guys are the same way, determined to be a better version of yourself by this time next year. And I mean substantial. I want them to be like, man, that don't even seem like Curtis Carr. Or man, that's Curtis Carr 3.0. I've heard of 2.0. Hell, we're going to make it a 5.0, a 6.0, a 7.0. But just better execution, better discipline, better just awareness of where I am, better awareness of making sure that I don't let stuff fall through the cracks, better handles on what I already got going on. Just I can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Make my wife happier. Oh yeah. Oh. So anyway, you didn't get excited about that one. She didn't get excited about that one. She's like, yeah, whatever. But anyway, I'm looking forward to. My mom liked the B joke, so I'm looking forward to 2023, and I like that year start just because it's a brand new year. You got to write a new date. It's just a good time to collect your energy. Late, but I'm here. Thank you, Aunt Linda. Good to see you. I hope you got your gift. I gave it to Aunt Michelle. I hope you got your gift. So, and then yours, my parents is going to be in the mail. So, I wanted to go ahead and talked about optimism, right? So we said today, and I was going to bring out all these slides and all that stuff, but we talked about today, and we talked about the T stands for traction, right? But the O stands for optimism, right? So optimism. How would you define optimism? So if you guys that are able to type, of course, Mother Brenda's driving, so we don't want her trying to write. But how would you define optimism? To give you a couple words. Shar, how would you define optimism? Type in what you think. How do you define optimism?
Positive thinking.
Positive thinking. That's a good one. What else? Who else out there? How would you define optimism? That's why I don't like asking a lot of questions online. That awkward silence. I don't even have the music. What's that show? Da, 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 da. So we don't even have that music. But optimism, a positive persistence. That's awesome. That's a different way of putting it. A positive persistence. My dad said, hopeful for the future. That's right on point. And I got on here, what is optimism? Hopefulness and confidence about the future or the successful outcome of something. That's powerful. Hopefulness and confidence about the future or the successful outcome of something. So I always like this one. Mother Brenda said, thinking outside the box. there's also signs of optimism. And I'm going to just read these so we don't have to have that awkward silence. I'm going to read these. You feel good. Signs of optimism. You feel good about the things that will happen in the future. You expect things to work out for the best. You feel like you will succeed in the face of life challenges. You feel that future looks bright. You think that even good things can come from adverse events. That's the signs of optimism. And if we're going to maximize today, there's no other way to do it. You have to be optimistic. If you're not optimistic, how are you going to garner up or to generate the energy to, after you get traction, to make anything happen? Oh, Dana's on. Oh, we got a video of Dana. So, hey, Dana, it's good to see you on. So when I saw that video, I said, that is so Aunt Dana. So great video, great video. So signs of optimism, we talked about it. We also talked about how important optimism is. I wanted to hear some quotes about, and this is kind of like a twisted, I love you too, Aunt Dana, a twisted way of looking at optimism, right? Because so often we look at optimism and broadcast it out. So often we looked at optimism because people basically, optimism is so important because we're always rocked by suffering, or we're rocked by pain or failure. So if we want Char's phone's going off. If we want to really remain optimistic, we have to look at failure. We have to look at suffering. We have to look at pain in a different light. So here's some quotes about these areas, and you just have to see the optimism in them if you look at the quote. First quote: "It is impossible to succeed without suffering." He said, well, what's that got to do with being optimistic? Because if you're suffering, a lot of times you get negative, right? You get negative. But if you remember it's impossible to succeed without suffering, then you say, you know what? Things are going to go pretty well in the future because man, it's hell right now. So optimism is very important because it's impossible to succeed without suffering. So if you're having some things that you're going through, that's a good thing, because optimism, just stay optimistic and you'll get to the other side. Another one here: accepting failure in the positive sense becomes effective when you believe that the right to fail is as important as the right to succeed. I will say that again. It's a little bit long. Yeah. Accepting failure in the positive sense becomes effective when you believe that the right to fail is as important as the right to succeed. So this one here, I got a personal one, and this goes to this. All right, so little story here. So anyway, little story. So here we are 2 weeks ago, and we're talking about failure, right? So 2 weeks ago, I said, hey, why don't we come together as a group, right? Those that are interested in trying to reach a goal and do whatever, try to reach this goal, why don't we come together? Those who want to be a part of this, come together. It doesn't matter what your goal is. All we're going to do is kind of text strand each other, create a text strand. We're going to comment on it, and we're not going to use it as a teaching or coaching venue or anything like that. It's just to encourage each other. That's it. That's what it's going to be for, just to encourage each other. And the point of that was just the mere fact that we're working together, you will see results that you never saw before. And I gave the example of when I was working, me and my middle son, we had a little bet. We said, hey, $250 on the year. We're going to split it down the middle. So at June, the end of June 30th, $125 if you don't reach your book goal, and then we said the same thing for the second half of the year. Well, when both of us were doing it, we both read more books. And it wasn't any cursing at each other out or anything like that. It was just the fact that we were working together. Our productivity increased on reading just because we were holding each other accountable. So I was thinking, man, we can just create that kind of environment. We do it at work all the time. We have text strands, we communicate, and it's just the mere fact that people know that other people are looking helps keep them connected to their goal. So I wanted to do the same thing. So I was like, listen, 4 pounds a week. All right. So we're talking about failure, right? First week, same weight. I ain't lost a half a pound. I ain't lost a pound. So then my wife was like, "No, you got to practice what you preach. You got to practice what you preach." So for one, I want to make sure I clarify. There's a whole bunch of things I say on this broadcast that I don't do. It is not because I don't believe in them. It's just because it's hard, right? It's hard to do all this stuff, but it would be wrong for me not to communicate it. So are we only going to communicate the things that I do well, or are we going to communicate the things that are just the right things? So I have always said, you know what? I'm going to communicate the things that are right. I've never said that I do all this stuff right. And I'm not going to do it all right. I just use this example of failing. And I'm going to fail a lot more. But the thing is that I have to say what is right. It's wrong to sit there and just try to give. I don't want y'all to be me. Nobody's that ain't the goal here. The goal is here in Elevate is just to share information, show you tools, tell you the ones that work for me. Some of these ones I never used. I read it out of a book and it impacted me, right? So I never want to come across as, hey, this guy got it all together, because I don't. But I tell you one thing, that I strive. I strive, right? So at the end of the day, when it comes to this, we'll set this thing again. And I'm only doing this because of my wife, because we'll do it again. If you guys want to do it, we can do a text strand and whatever your goal is. But the point of the goal was to use the points on traction and set some timelines. It was just some points on traction. I sent and just you can contact us on info@elevate.com. I can put my phone number down. You can text me. But at the end of the day, it's about us working together. And it's not like you struggle. Let's say your goal was to lose 4 pounds a week like me. All it is that, hey, how you doing on your weight? It's been a week. Are you over, or did you meet your limit? No, I did not. Okay, well, keep on pushing, Curtis. All right, thank you. That's what we're looking for, right? It's, and maybe I get that text on a Friday. It doesn't have to be the next Wednesday. How you doing on your goal so far? You about 2 days in. Keep strong. It's just encouraging. That's all it is, right? But if you want to do it, let's do it. Hey, Daryl. Anytime Daryl get on here, I feel like Daryl Shaw. So thank you, Daryl. Merry Christmas to you too. So, man, every time Daryl gets on this thing, I go back like in 2 seconds, 30 years. So anyway, oh, what a different man I was. That's all I can say. So anyway, Daryl, and I see you and your wife, and oh, a different man you are, Daryl Shaw. So anyway, so another quote: "You can never confuse faith that you will prevail in the end, which you can never afford to lose, with the discipline to confront the most brutal facts of your current reality, whatever they might be." So what does this have to do with optimism? Because at the end of the day, you gotta stay optimistic. That's what it's saying. You can never confuse the faith that you will prevail in the end. That's believing that you're going to win. And it says you can never afford to lose that. You cannot confuse those two things with the discipline to confront the most brutal facts of your current reality. So you got to be able to say, and this is something we used to say at this other business I was at: if the baby's ugly, the baby's ugly. It's just being honest about your situation. If you're broke, credit card, FICO score is 300, you got a FICO score that's 300, all right? And then we're going to get it better. We're going to read some articles online. If I don't like books, I'm going to listen to some books online. I'm going to talk to some people with some better credit, and I'm going to fix it. But I'm not going to deny the truth. And I'm not going to sit there and believe that I got to sit here with a 300 credit score. So that's what we're talking about, being optimistic. I love this one by Oprah. The bigger secret in life is that there is no big secret. Whatever your goal is, you can get there as long as you're honest with yourself about the preparation and the work involved. There are no back doors, no free rides. There's just you, this moment, and a choice. That's about as clean as you can get it right there. So those are just a few of the quotes about optimism, right? So at 722, oh, there's this one here. I like this one. Be happy while you're living, for you're a long time dead. Talking about keeping it in perspective, right? And and I love this one. We are not in the world to set it right. I know you guys heard this one, but to see it rightly. And right seeing is the passport from illusion to the heaven of accomplishment. So I know if I want to accomplish this weight goal, right? If I don't want to sit here and roll into 2024, then I need to see things the right way when it comes to my diet or my habits. So at the end of the day, right seeing is the passport to accomplishment. If I see this thing right, if I'm able to see the different challenges and obstacles I have and to be able to put them in perspective, oh, there's no secrets. That's Oprah. No secrets. Uh, I can knock out that weight goal and I can get to where I want to be. So at the end of the day, that's the quotes on optimism. Any feedback on that? We got a few minutes before I go over the positive ways to encourage positive, 4 ways to encourage positive thinking. Any feedback on that? Well, I still got my people, or everybody left? Anybody still there? Hello, people. 2022, December 28th. One thing we want to do before we get into it, because these 4 ways to encourage positive thinking, everybody said they're here. Great. It gets lonely over here sometime, guys. Thank you for chiming in. 4 ways to encourage positive thinking. These are kind of like unorthodox. I thought it was a great article, and I thought it would be great to share. But if you want to encourage positive thinking in yourself and others, the first point is to always give great effort in whatever you do. You say, well, what's that have to do with optimism? Well, a lot of times I feel like it's that we get in our head, right? We just get in our head. So we get in our head. But when you're giving great effort, your focus is on the job at hand. The focus is on the task. And if you make up in your mind that you're going to give great effort and your best effort in whatever you're doing, whether it's something you're doing for yourself at home, cleaning a room or building a fence or cleaning a garage or something you're doing at your job, I guarantee you it's hard to stay negative. If you're focused on giving your great effort, it's impossible to be in those 2 places mentally at the same time. To be in the space mentally where you're giving great effort, and also be in the space mentally that you are depressed or sad or negative. It's impossible to be in the same place. So always give your best effort is the first point. Number 2, give back to your community. It is extremely hard, and I have not seen it. Maybe Shar have seen it. We all know she's smarter than I am. She's the one that got the toothpick thing right. She got both of them right. And then she got a little. That's the only time I've never seen her humble. Most times she's pretty humble, but she did that toothpick test so quick and just kind of looked at me like, "You idiot! You couldn't get it together." But that giving back to your community, I have never seen anybody that goes and makes the extra effort to go to some nonprofit and work with them. I'm talking about work. I'm not just talking about donating a check. I'm talking about actually be involved in the work, actually put some things together and driving it down somewhere and spending some time with some people, maybe cleaning up that area or whatever, doing the work and then being negative. If you're actually doing the work and giving back to the community and you understand that that's my goal to give back, you're going to see things that's going to make you appreciative. You're going to see things that's going to make you have more gratitude, I should say, right? So very important. Give back to your community. Practice positive self-talk. Now, I used to laugh about this when I was younger. The older I get and the more stressful life gets, I'm like, yeah, I do this all the time now. Practice positive self-talk is the third thing. And it's funny because it's actually a biblical principle, and I can't remember where it is. Maybe the theologians on here, the people that know the Bible can tell me, but you're supposed to utter the word to yourself. When you take the word, you're supposed to utter it back to yourself. And that has power. But secular society, they have what they call affirmations, right? I am a good guy. Or I can say, hey, I am 235. I will be 235. I will lose 4 pounds this week. You will lose 4 pounds. Positive affirmations, right? It's a lot of work for 4 pounds, huh? But at the end of the day, speaking positive self-talk, not man, I having a hard time. It's hard. It's hard out there. I don't care. I don't. Just get negative. Positive self-talk. Number 4, take ownership and responsibility for your actions. So if I'm not down 4 pounds, I plan on blaming Shar. Right? That would be wrong, right? I'm gonna say this good cooking over here has got me big. But I'm gonna say nope. I gotta take, I didn't have to eat all 6 of those. How many drumsticks I eat that day?
4.
4. I didn't have to eat all 4 of them drumsticks. And then have that peach cobbler that Mother Brenda made with the butter pecan ice cream I bought on top of it. I didn't have to do that, right? So at the end of the day, I got to take ownership of my responsibilities. So I wanted to talk about this one thing, and this is kind of sad, but so I was talking with a young man the other day, and I know this young man has experienced great trauma in his life, and he was talking about how he he has triggers and how his wife is good at hitting on those triggers. And when she hits on those triggers, he goes off. And I was like, but I never heard him take responsibility for his behavior actions. You know, he put it on his wife. And the first thing that came into my mind was what's that? I don't know. I'm big on quotes, guys. I know it gets boring probably, but I'm big on quotes. But one guy said, whenever you respond in anger, you're wrong. Whenever you respond in anger, you're wrong. And I was like, man, if you respond in anger, you're wrong. Not the person that made you or you feel like made you respond in anger. So I told him, I said, man, we still have the responsibility to control ourselves. We can't just, say it's your fault that. And the reason why it hit me a certain kind of way, because that same individual has somebody close to him do a heinous crime, a very, very violent crime. So when he said that, that's the first thing I thought of. If we don't take responsibilities for our actions and think that we can just respond in anger, if we think that's okay, we're gonna have problems, right? So whenever we can never think like a victim. At the end of the day, we have to control those responsibilities. So 7:29, it just hit 7:30. The 4 points were: always give your best effort, give back to your community, practice positive self-talk, take ownership and responsibility for your actions. And that is the things we can do to encourage positive thinking in ourselves and get other people to join in with you. And it can be in others. So it's 12:28. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing Facebook Live on the first week of the year. But if you are a part of that tech strand and you have some goals and you want to be a part of a community of people that are trying to reach their goals, you can email me at info@wemustelevate.com. And there's going to be a real intentional effort about making sure that we push the coaching this year. So if you guys got anything out of it, please put something on the text strand, on the strand here. I don't even know what do we call this strand? The Facebook Live strand on the comment line. Thank you, Daryl. Daryl said, "I'm proud of you, man, because you were really messed up when you see." I read this as like, "I'm proud of you, Curtis, because you were really messed up as a teenager." That's he said, Daryl's like, you're all right now, man. I didn't know how you're going to turn out. I was talking to one of my aunts, and I'll leave y'all with this. I was talking to one of my, he said, we've come a long way, right? I was talking to one of my aunts, and she was like, I was worried about my nephew. You were jacked up, So at the end of the day, say that. so anyway, Brenda, great inspiration. Thank you. So 7:31, you guys have a great day. Man, conquer this year, man. Conquer it. I'm telling you, the guy I am today, I'm gonna kill it. This next year, this time next year is gonna be a whole nother dude. It's gonna be a whole nother dude. You guys have a great one. If you want to participate, I'm gonna put my number on this thing. And then we can do a text thread. Just text me, and then I'll send you the text that says, "Hey, how we're gonna go about this." But it's not gonna be anything heavy. It's just gonna be about us encouraging each other. All right. The only thing about this, anybody sees the recording, they're gonna have my number. I just thought about it as I hit the button. So anyway, you guys have a great one. Be intentional, focus on growth, and elevate now.